Take a look at this RoboCop trailer. It gives us a glimpse of what is in store in our future if they get their way.
What if I told you that even the worst neighborhood in America could be made completely safe? How do I know this? Because it's happening right now in every country in the world but this one. It is great to see American machines helping to promote peace abroad. So then tell me, why can't we use these machines here at home? Why is America so robophobic?
Well, he ends that asking, why are Americans robophobic? And of course, that's a rhetorical question. You can see that very clearly from the beginning of that trailer. Think about what they're doing. What they're showing here is that they have a fully operational robotic police force in other countries. And that's what they've been doing to us, even though Americans don't see it. You know, if tyranny was a product like an iPhone, we would have had feasibility studies like the Pentagon's been doing for 20 years. They would have had Iraq and Afghanistan as beta tests. Then we would have seen a PR campaign like we've seen actually from mainstream media in Hollywood. And then finally, we would see them stocking the shelves with the product. That's what's happening here in America with the police state. As they're bringing home the equipment that they've used overseas in Afghanistan and Iraq, they're giving it to police departments. They're actually stocking it now. And they're actually putting in police who have been trained in the new kinds of techniques, these authoritarian police state tactics. So it's very obvious, and yet the public is totally oblivious to what's going on. But also notice something else about this. They're offering a solution that is a transhumanist robot. We see the same sort of thing happening in the new television show, Almost Human. We can trust those transhumanist robotic cops. Well, they offer us this good cop, bad cop show where the good cop is actually a robot. Actually, that's what Obama wants. He wants robots in the military. That's what Michael Maloof talked about with Alex Jones on the radio show today.
Now, Michael Maloof joins us with some just amazing research. We're so thankful he could come on. Currently, he's a senior staff writer for WorldNetDaily.com, specializing in international political and economic analysis, former senior security policy analyst for the Office of the Secretary of Defense. Maloof has almost 30 years of federal service, 23 years of which was with the U.S. Defense Department. Are they really crazy enough to try to really destroy American credibility and get rid of us and maybe just sell out to the communist Chinese or something? I mean, I just look at it and everything points towards sell out America, and the globalists have power through America. And I've criticized that strategy. I don't like being that corrupt imp, but this is really bad.
And they're seeing some of these firings as being politically motivated. For example, the three generals that got canned right on the eve of right after Benghazi. The concern is that they were using the firings to deflect attention from this ongoing investigation on Benghazi, which is far from resolved. And as a consequence, there seems to be the notion of trying to hide things. We've had some CIA officers actually told, if you go up and testify, you're going to be removed from your jobs. So the intimidation is somewhat happening in the intelligence world, but it's also much more, and it's easier in the military world because these guys have to salute, take orders, and shut up.
And what is the current state of the police state? Well, Jakari Jackson has a report on what's happening here in Austin.
We know that there's a tremendous number of cameras in the private sector, and right now we're working to try to get those private cameras in public places tied into our system.
That was Austin Police Chief Art Acevedo saying that he wants to use private cameras for police use, a tactic that could be useful in a situation such as the Boston bombing, where we've never actually seen footage of the alleged bombers placing the bomb. But it's not just at outdoor events. Malls are now starting to feed directly into police systems, with monitoring occurring potentially in real time. As this system grows, will you be able to go anywhere or do anything without the watchful eye of Big Brother? But you say, it makes me feel safe. Well, how do you feel about red light and toll cameras, which in theory keep you safe but can also be used to charge you out the wazoo? Couldn't other cameras be used to crack down on victimless crimes and ordinances, many of which may be very unconstitutional to begin with? Soon, the new Xbox One will be released with a camera so advanced they can track your eye movements. So let's say the fuzz coming knocking with a warrant, Can they seize the footage of you doing your Connect yoga or anything else that's in camera shot? Just a thought. I'm Jakari Jackson, and this has been an InfoWars Nightly News Alert.
Alex Jones here to warn you about some of the most important health information you may ever hear. I'm talking about radiation, radioactive fallout, radioactive particles contaminating the Northern Hemisphere. Conservatively, since the 1940s, the Northern Hemisphere of our planet has more than doubled its background radiation. In fact, that was before Fukushima exploded. Now the levels are going up and up and up. Fish are contaminated in the Pacific, and the FDA, the EPA, and others, they're not worried about it. They've been raising the levels of what they claim is safe radioactive particles. So after more than 2 years of research into how to protect my family, looking at all the literature, talking to the experts, across the board they agreed iodine is key, but of the family of iodine, nascent, natural, non-GMO, non-factory iodine that comes from the earth is absolutely paramount for your thyroid and other functions in the body. The literature, the research, it's there. It's not my opinion. It is admitted that iodine is essential for the health of our bodies overall, and nascent iodine is the best form. Now, we're announcing the launch of InfoWarsLife.com, and we're going to bring you scores of products over the next few years that we're researching and developing. But nascent iodine is the first product we're coming out with because it's so important, and it's also listed as a fluoride detoxer. It does so many other things. Your body needs it, and when you don't have enough iodine, forget the radiation, your thyroid absorbs the sodium fluoride and other things. Nascent iodine and InfoWars Life Survival Shield in double strength at half the cost of the leading competitors. Please visit InfoWarsLife.com today.